We are living in amazing times. We observe division of the world into two worlds. One is the dark world, where people are losing their touch with their higher self, God's spark. They become aggressive, hateful, violent at times, or they become depressed when apathy takes over.
You are dumb and ugly.
They lack critical thinking skills and are susceptible to manipulation and deception. They are focused on material things and crave novelties. They exhibit tendencies toward group thinking resembling a hive mind, not able to think as individuals.
Together we rise! Our power unites us!
Another world consists of smaller number of people who possess the ability to think critically and seek the truth. They feel that there is another reality, invisible to the senses. They possess what is called a divine spark. They do not yield to negative emotions, they sense what is happening, and they feel empathy for those who are suffering. They know that the only way to change their own world is not by fighting their enemies, but by improving themselves. They understand that this reality is false, and that we have the power to change it. We can change it, because this reality is a reflection of our own thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. People who are unaware of this fact are easily manipulated. They don't realize that they contribute to creating the reality that the architect of this work desires. They don't realize how powerful creators they are and that they are being exploited by those who control this world. It's because the entities that control this reality do not possess the power of creation. That is why we have power over them. That is why they made us believe we are helpless slaves. Because they programmed us and limited our perception, we forgot who we really are. In today's world, we are experiencing chaos, and elites are pushing toward their agenda order from the chaos. There is tremendous confusion and uncertainty. People are clinging to what is familiar. But everything, like law and constitution amendments, seem to be following its own unpredictable paths. Even moral principles and values have undergone enormous changes. This is contributing to the gradual decline of humanity. Those awaken who have knowledge can lead others who are willing to join to simpler and peaceful world. Humanity needs healing. People need to remember who they are in order to create a world suitable for themselves. The principle of as within, so without explains everything. Our inner world is reflected in our material reality. In other words, what you think, feel, and believe is reflected in your life. For example, if you believe you are attractive, you will notice that other people are interested in you. And if you feel like you have bad luck, you'll notice that undesirable things happen to you.
I'm sorry.
Therefore, the best approach is to become aware of our own thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When we are aware of them, we can easily control what we think and change our thought when necessary. We must practice this as often as possible to control what we project to the world. Mastering this skill can take years, so the earlier you start, the better. Once we master the ability to create our own reality, we will be able to create the world we desire. Those who do not yet realize that they themselves create their own world can learn. They can learn this by comparing their thoughts with the reflection of those thoughts in reality. I do not really know how the division will look like, but imagine that those who choose to stay in the material world of greed and suffering. They will create the world based on their beliefs. This is how the world eventually will split into two different worlds. one ruled by some controlling entity and the other where people will live free in prosperity. Which world will you choose? Look at this world around me. This is how I imagine my reality. Right now, we are living in a shared reality, but the split is visible for some people. Now is the time to choose the world you want to live in.